That has to be the most intense cutscene ever. Yeah, that's a really cool cutscene, and it was all just a dream. Weird. Well, that's not a normal pain for waking up. Oh dear.
Ray? Is everything okay?
Not really.
I heard you cry out. Well, I was worried. You've been having so many nightmares lately.
What? I'm fine.
No, you're not.
But
I just had a bad dream.
That was one hell of a bad dream. Poor Miko. She's like, oh, fine. I hope this is bright enough. I turned the brightness up all the way on the game. I guess I'll know when I go into editing if I'll need to tweak this stuff again. But yes, that's a bizarre dream. Was it all just a dream? Anyway, I'd better get up. So now, as you can see at the top, there's little thingies appearing. If you saw my Fatal Frame 4 walkthrough first, or playthrough really, then you will remember the notebook that Yoshiro had. Well, Ray has one too. That's where they got the idea. They decided they did that in the third one. Sorry, I'm adjusting my mic and glasses. Notebook use. During the course of the game, when you find new information, it will be recorded in the notebook. When there is a new entry in the notebook, the title will appear in the top right. This is stuff we remember from the fourth one. You can access the notebook from the menu. If you press the L1 button while the item name is shown on the top right, you can refer to that item. Yes, and what I was saying before is we now get to walk around in their house, which is very different from the other games where you were just stuck in a place. Here, you actually get to be where you live. But let's start with incidents, and the bruise appears. I felt a sharp pain in my shoulders when I woke up. For a moment, I thought I could see some kind of bruise on my skin, but when I looked again, there was nothing there. Was it just a dream? No, honey. Okay. Now we have locations. The abandoned house. I wasn't motivated enough to find out much about the place before I went, but about all I knew was that it was supposed to be haunted. What was behind the strange daydream vision I had in that house in the snow? Was I just worn out, still scarred by the accident? Or are the rumors true? Was he really there? Was you there? Manner of sleep. The ruined house I wandered in my dream the night I got back after my vision on that assignment. Something about it reminded me of the haunted house where I saw you. It seemed too real to be a dream. Daydreams? Visions? Maybe I'm just tired. I don't think so, honey. Okay? People. Here we go. You, or also. He's very, very cute. My fiancé. He was an editor who worked on books of folklore, philosophy, and anthropology. So kind of like a folklorist. We met as students. He was the opposite of me in every way, quiet and kind, like gently falling rain, like a soft shower that washes everything clean. He passed away 2 months ago in an accident caused by my careless driving. So there we go. He died 2 months ago. That's very sad. That's what we saw in the opening, if you remember, in the car. Miku Hinasaki. Miku Hinasaki, younger sister of Yu's best friend. So Mafuyu was Yu's best friend. She lives with me now and works as my assistant. I haven't met her brother. Yu told me she had lost a relative in a quote-unquote accident. She helps me out in all kinds of ways, not just with work. She's cheerful and hardworking. If not for her, I don't know how I would have made it through after you passed. So Miku's been living here since her brother died. That's interesting. The tattooed woman. The woman who appeared in my dream of the manor, her whole body covered in a blue tattoo. She came closer and I ran away before I knew what was happening. All I remember is an intense fear. I can still feel her cold, stabbing fingers on the back of my shoulder where she touched me. It's hard to believe that it was only a dream. She's still in denial. Mother and daughter. The mother and child who appeared in my dream in old-fashioned kimonos. They were looking for someone, calling out in sad voices to him. Who could they be? Well, we will learn more later. As we do, it will appear there. So let's take a look around in Ray's room. What's this? Her desk? Nothing to see there. Let's check this. She's talking about the candles there. She probably made them specially with me in mind, but for some reason I can't bring myself to light them, so they just sit there, unlit and unused. She's talking about Miku. Miku made her some candles. That's cute. Wait, can I click on anything over here? Maybe if I go this side? A new fashion magazine lies tossed aside. I used to do this kind of work as well, and I used to like reading the magazines too, but it's not that kind of thing I can enjoy anymore. Okay, let's check her closet. These are just little tidbits about her life. My clothes are thrown carelessly into the closet. I've never been a tidy person, and unless I make a real effort, things soon get like this. Miku must not have not seen here yet. She would never have left it in this state. Looks like she relies a lot on Miku to help her out. Pieces of my work are pinned up on the wall. There are more scenery sorry. There are more scenery shots now than there used to be. I don't feel ready for projects that involve taking pictures of people. Very sad. On the shelf is a camera I never use anymore. I used to enjoy using this camera back in the days when I used to take pictures for fun, which I do not do anymore. On this shelf I keep my photo books and newspapers. Miku bought most of the photography books for me. She has a good eye for these things, but most of them I have hardly even glanced at. Well, you don't know. There's a radio. There isn't any tape I want to listen to right now. Oh, well, poo. Well, it's all about Ray's little room here, so let's continue investigating. Kitty. Is that a kitty? Kitty.
Good morning, Ray.
Hi, Miku. Kitty. You can talk to the kitty. She doesn't want to talk to the camera. Fine. Let's go see Miku. Good morning, Ray. It looks like it's going to rain all day today, too. You don't have to work so much this week, so why don't you try to relax? Ray, you've been working too much lately. You were woken up by a bad dream this morning. Not to mention what happened when we were out collecting data the other day. Anyway, let's try to take it easy today. That reminds me, there was a letter. It's addressed to you. Uh-oh. Letter from K1. Dear you, sorry for not writing for so long. How are things with your fiancé? I'm continuing my investigation of the urban legend. Like I thought, my niece's symptoms bear many similarities to the strange disease associated with the urban legend. I think most of the story is groundless rumor, but I've heard that there was a psychiatric study done. If you have it, I'd like to see it. Maybe it will provide a clue. I'm taking a break from all my other work to devote myself to studying the urban legend. I'd like your help. According to the documents I've studied, that camera I sent you is apparently the rare camera obscura. Given where I found it, it may have some connection to the missing people in the urban legend. If you hear anything, please tell me. Regards, Kei Amakura. Huh, he found a camera obscura and sent it to you. It's from Kei Amakura. He's written several times before. Have you still not told him about you? Yeah, Ray. Use camera obscura. I wonder if it would be in U's room. So we're going to ignore the fact that you've never told this guy's friend that his friend's dead. What do you have to say, Miku? Miku. I know. Miku. Fine. There's not really anything to do at the moment. So let's just check our file. Let's check our notes. People! Kei Amakura. I've never met him personally, but he was a friend of you. He used to write from time to time. You seems to have known lots of people, both professionally and privately. According to the letter, he and you were doing research into urban legends. Maybe the camera obscura was somehow connected with that. I should tell him about the accident. Yeah. But are you? No. You're not. Let's go use her. Cause we're gonna go look and see if he has the camera obscura that Kay sent him. This hallway's creepy as hell. Dear God. There was something about some sort of camera obscura that you owned written in that letter. The camera obscura. Could it be the same camera I saw in my dream? Well, let's open the door and find out. Whoop. Into U's room.
Ray, may I help you with something?
Oh, I just wanted to ask you.
That's so sad. Actually, if you look closely at the necklace she's wearing, if you remember looking at the part with you, the pictures and stuff, he's wearing the same necklace. I think we get another flashback to the incident in the car, and I think he's wearing it there. If I remember correctly, that's his necklace. I'll check in a minute. Okay, we're gonna see him again. Yeah, see, he's wearing it. So it's his necklace that she's wearing now. Oh, very sad. So let's investigate some stuff. You're probably wondering why the hell do they not sleep in the same room? They were fiancés after all. Well, they're probably doing the traditional Japanese way. Even though in the traditional Japanese way, they wouldn't even live together. So, they have 2 separate rooms. There are some cardboard boxes in the corner of the room. After what happened, I tried to sort through his things. But after a while, I just couldn't go on anymore, and I haven't touched it at all since. Yeah, this has to be like the suckiest task imaginable, trying to clean up after a dead loved one, and put away their things. Used clothes are still hanging in his closet. I decided not to tidy them away. Once they're in boxes, I knew they would never come out again. Aww. Shit. Okay, let's check his desk. There are typed and handwritten letters on the desk, along with several books. I have hardly touched anything in here since that day. I just can't bring myself to tidy everything away. There is a notebook left out on top of the desk. Perhaps somebody was in the middle of working? Like you? Maybe he was working. Yes, there is a lot of reading in this. As you can tell, this is 11 pages, and I apologize. But it is all necessary for understanding what's going on. Many of the urban legends classified as Lost Village are modeled on real incidents, such as a village was ruined when one villager massacred the others. Huh. The Lost Village. Interesting. They are often an agglomeration Sorry, don't know that word. You knows big words. Of well-known actual incidents, legend, and oral tradition. Settings such as the isolated mountain village or bygone customs, like night trysts or ceremonies, often act to trigger the incidents themselves, and these in turn become the motif for urban legends. He's a smart guy. The reason for the popularity of urban legends may lie in the notion of the view of the country from the city or the modern bias toward the ancient. To people in the modern city, the village is the wilderness, and those who live there are different. Perhaps that scorn or fear finds expression in the urban legend. For that reason, the setting of this legend must be the isolated mountain village. Further, bygone customs are attractive elements that end up acting to provoke the incident. As a case in point, there is a story about the area around the Minakami Dam where Mayu went missing. That's right, it is that lost village we're talking about. The Lost Village. In the mountains of the Minakami area, yeah, I said that right, there was once a massacre in the so-called Lost Village. Years ago, on the night of a certain festival, there was a great massacre, and the village disappeared from the map. Only one woman survived. If you walk in the forest where the village once lay, there's a small guardian statue, and if you continue, you will come to the shrine gate that forms the entrance to the village. If you should pass through the gate, you will never return. The night of the massacre continues in this village where day will never again break, and a woman's horrific laugh rings throughout the village. Next, we have the Manor of Bizarre Murders, where the same tragedy reoccurs. Its scale is smaller, but generally speaking, it resembles the pattern of the village, as it is made up of elements based on true incidents. Below is an example of this. It has something to do with Mafuyu's disappearance. That's right, we're now going to talk about Game 1. Hooray! The House of Mutilation. In the mountain area of Himuro, there remains a manor where years ago there was said to be a massacre. There have always been vanishings in the nearby forest, and many of the spirited away are said to end up in the manor. Their corpses have been found with both hands, legs, and head severed off. One more example is the seemingly related Manor of Sleep urban legend that I'm researching now. The Manor of Sleep legend was picked up in various magazines in the 1960s, but incidents with very similar characteristics can be found here and there in older media. This newspaper is from the early 1900s, and it is of no relation to when the Manor of Sleep legend was taken up, but the background of the spirited aways and those people's later conditions bear many similarities to the Manor of Sleep urban legend. Sorry, I'm fucking this up. I'm still investigating, but these incidents may trace back to the 19th century, and I have seen legends in several folklore books that may have become the basis for the Manor of Sleep. The House of Sleep urban legend. Perhaps this is what Kay was asked to investigate. You added a well-organized notebook on urban legends to your file.